We're at the business end of the season. Horsham District Football and Netball League. Big Peter Weir and the Jeparit Rainbow Storm were at the business end, and unfortunately the business ended up not getting done the way they would have liked. Weir joins us. He must be disappointed, but he's good enough to see the season out, as good combatants are. Hey Weir, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, Wayne, but as you touched on, it was a disappointing Sunday for us at Laharam. It was a beautiful day for footy, and then it looks like it's going to be great conditions again this weekend. But unfortunately, the three Jeparit Rainbow sides will be on the wrong side of the fence this weekend. Yeah,
look, it was disappointing, and it is always the way to start to say, well, what do we do for next year? Is there a need for another, one or two really good top-up players, or have you got, say, one or two that will come through from your junior ranks that you think could maybe out of reserves or some junior football this year can make up those two A-grade spots, if you like, to get you to where you need to be competitive again against, say, Kalki, Rapanyup and the might of the Harrow, who beat you on the weekend 16-13 to 11-7?
Yeah, it's a tough one, Flo, man. I really do believe in our senior team. We've probably got enough talent on the park, and there is some really good depth through the reserves. And as we saw, the under-14s put in a great season. So there's some really exciting times ahead of the club. And I guess just from a senior perspective, we've just got to do the right things for longer during matches. And I think, it's more so just a lapse in concentration for 10 or 15 minutes during that final that cost us more so than needing a big influx of players. But the natural improvement in the team, plus a few good juniors such as Louis Cox pushing into the senior ranks, will definitely help us. But we definitely had the opportunity this year to go further.
You did, and I think you'd have to say you were up at quarter time, albeit you kicked straight and they didn't. They then started to get their mojo in the second, booted 5 to your 0 goals. Whenever I see a quarter where a side doesn't kick any goals and then they lose by about the margin of that, if you like, what the other side kicked, that's the percentages that they've played. That's where it's won and lost. And Harrow Balmoral did you in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was a great start to the game. It was really even early. I thought our intensity really matched them, if not better than around the ball. But just for 10 or 15 minutes in that second quarter, we just seemed to relax and just got a little bit happy with our game and just waiting to see how it would unfold. And Harrow are way too good a side to allow that to happen. And I thought off half back, a lot of their play started. Scotty Heath, who wasn't actually named in their best players, but I thought he was really influential off half back and started to settle his team down and get the ball in the right bloke's hands going forward. And then Stouty and the forwards are always going to be hard to stop when they start getting a few of those deep entries. So, I think the game was won and lost in that 10 minutes in the second quarter.
Certainly he was. Wild played well for you. Batson tried hard. Kerwood booted another 4. Simo, very good. Simon Clugston and Ash Clugston, and the big Weary too added a couple along with Xavier Oakley onto the score sheet. The other match though on the weekend, Rupp 13-7-85 into the final they go, beating the Keys 6-12-48. Did that surprise you, the margin?
Oh, not so much. I listened to a little bit of this game, Flowman, on the Saturday, and it just seemed like Rapanyup were just a little bit too good over the whole ground, and their forwards, Jack Musgrove and Braden Nyson, are two big blokes, and I think the Kalki defence found it hard to match up on those blokes. And when Mitch Gleeson's winning the ball through the middle of the ground, he's a really important player. He drives the ball deep into the forward line, and that's really important in finals time. So watch for him to have a big grand final after the week off. But Jasper Gunn, again, really good for Kalki, taking his home and away form into the finals series. But I think, even though there was some poor kicking from Kalki throughout the day, Rapanyup were just a little bit too good.
And it's interesting too, because in the reserve grade, Harrow in the elimination first semi 7-6-48 beat the Keys 5-10-40. The Keys now have lost their reserve side out of the finals race, whereas Harrow have got both still in, and Rupp in the other match was a qualifying final, so they lost that to Narrajua Quantong. So we actually in the reserves this week get a really interesting preliminary final, and it makes for very interesting because you want to have both your sides in if you can right through to the grand final.
Yeah, I think Rapanyup will respond. They got knocked off last weekend by Narrajua Quantong, but Narrajua did have Jason Kerr, who's recovering from a knee injury, and blokes like Tom Cooper, who are really good senior players to really strengthen that reserve side. And in the other game, we saw Kalki just fall short of Harrow. So the Harrow boys will be represented in both the reserves and the seniors this weekend.
What about the 17s? We saw a massive win by Pimpernio at 23-19 to Rapanyup 6-4. That is the qualifying final. Pimpernio into the right now. They're straight through. Brilliantly done by them. But Swifts 9-10 thrashed by the Keys 21-15. I saw this and I thought, how are these two games so one-sided?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The Pimpernio score, that's a great result from them, and I'd say they'll have to start $1.01 favourites going into the grand final after a win like that to get them in there, Flowman. And then, I thought Kalkee really upset Stawell in that second final. I thought Stawell might win that, but shows that Kalkee's got some great juniors coming through in their under-17s as well.
Yeah, well, look, Rapanyup certainly with their 14s and their 17s making finals, it's great for that club. Here's something for you, though. If you looked at the goal kicking in the 17s for Pimpernio, Adams, Baker, Brown and Kirkwood, 3. Then you've got 3 players with 2 and then another 6, I think, or 5 players with 1. A lot of kids got on the score sheet for Pimpernio, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, definitely their coach should be wrapped with that. It's you need even contributions to win finals, and that's a great example of that, Flowman. So not only is the team that meets them in the grand final going to have to try and stop a few forwards, it looks like the wingmen and the flankers and the midfielders are also hitting the scoreboard for them.
All right, the 14-year-olders, the first game on the Saturday, Laharam 5-6-36 to beat Canova-Leor 3-7-25 in the qualifier. The Cougar boys get another chance. Unfortunately, Rupp 7-13-55 beat Jeparit Rainbow 1-2-8. Take us through it. You're obviously gutted. The club is gutted that the lads have gone so far. But take us through what's been a magnificent season by the boys in green.
Yeah, there's a great support there for them again on Sunday. I think the crowd for them would have been just as big as for the senior match, Flowman. So the community really got around them. They had a great season. Tommy Long did a terrific job coaching them. And I think, the boys would be shattered to lose, but it was a great result for them to finish 4th. I think they played well and truly above themselves, but they also probably proved to themselves that there's quite a lot of talent amongst them, and there'll be plenty to work on. And I think after this season, they'll have a much better understanding of their strengths and weaknesses. And I'll expect to see a fair few boys out on the track during the summertime, Flowman, and coming back bigger and better and stronger next year for the club.
Yeah, good. There'll be some good 17 kids coming through out of that group, and then there'll be a lot of kids staying in that age profile. Ryder Gould, William Fisher, Parker Gould, Dustin Eckerman, Fletcher Keller and Xander Eckerman in the better players. A goal to young Bronte Everett, and then it was on the other side, Hugh Wiedemann just cut up at the young kids from the green, and it was well placed to be best player on the ground. Having a look now at the preliminary final action that is in front of us, and this is a big start to the morning. Canova-Leor play Rupp at Quantong. Just get a feeling that Rapanyup might be on a roll, and did your guys pretty well. I just get a feeling they might be able to knock over the Cougars.
Yeah, it's going to be a very close game. I think, Rapanyup boys obviously had that great win against us last weekend, and Riley Downers, another terrific player in the league who had a great game against us. So they're going to be tough to beat, but it might just go with Canova just to hang on and get another crack at Laharam in the grand final.
Rupp and Kalkee in the seniors, the 17s, the older boys. Rupp, if they could get those 14s through, and they get these 17s through, then they have got some sides playing grand final football on the big day.
Yeah, it's going to be a great place to be over at Rapanyup on grand final day, but I might go with Kalkee in an upset here. I think winning form's good form, and they'll take a lot of confidence out that after that big win against Stawell, and I reckon they can upset Rapanyup in the under-17s.
And the 2s, Rupp again. Harrow is the opposition. Harrow very good last week. Do Rupp get both sides through to a grand final?
Oh, I think they do, with Harrow boys having to play every final. I think they're starting to get a few soldiers wounded as happens, and I think that'll really test their depth. But Rapanyup should be fresh after just the one final, and I think they'll bounce back and join their senior team in the grand final next weekend.
At Quantong Recreation Reserve, the preliminary final is the Keys and Harrow Balmoral. Who plays Rapanyup in the grand final? Harrow Balmoral missing one of their major soldiers.
Yeah, key forwards missing on either team. Jaden Cooney went down for Kalkee, so he's a big loss for their goal-kicking power, and Michael Close, probably the best player in the league at centre-half forward, is a big out for the Harrow boys. I think, it should be a terrific game. I'm expecting a close one, Flowman. I think it'll be decided by less than 10 points, so it's hard to pick a winner, but just knowing that Harrow have knocked the Kalkee boys off twice already this year, you'd probably just have to lean in their favour.
Okay, we'll lean that way. Couple of big events coming up. The Rainbow Enduro at the Oval is all of the big vehicles. They're magnificent. They'll be doing scrutineering and so forth before they head out to Alba, Cutcher, and out there to Pella, right out north. It's going to be fantastic. I know they do, 3 loops of it? Is it 80k or something? They go on dirt tracks and so forth up near the Wiper Field.
Yeah, it's a great weekend. It'll give people a chance to take their mind off the bad losses of last weekend and move forward, Flowman, because, it's a great event for the local town and getting more and more supported each year. And I think they got some great weather for it this weekend, so I'm sure the racers will be happy and the track's in really good condition. So, an exciting weekend for Rainbow without any football to watch.
Oh, good stuff. Now, there's the league medal coming up on Monday, plus you've got your best and fairest at 4 p.m. on Saturday of the grand final day, the 10th day of September, the BNFF for all of the footy and netball clubs, kids starting early and then adults coming in later for that. It's a big night for the club afternoon and evening on that Saturday the 10th. Now, the league medal on Monday. This is what I want to ask you. In the seniors competition, who in each club, in the top, say, clubs, who do you think maybe the top 6, who do you reckon is going to win?
Oh, I think at Harrow, my pick for the medal would be Michael Close. He's a standout player. He runs from either end of the ground and he takes good marks and kicks some nice goals, Flowman. From Kalkee, probably Jasper Gunn. He's been in their top 2 or 3 players. So if he gets recognised by the umpires, look for him to poll really well. I think from our club, Scotty Driscoll's been really consistent through the middle of the ground and he's always right under the umpire's nose. And if they want to give a forward some votes, maybe Jay Kerwood, Flowman, and just on that, it'll be an interesting one with the old full forward getting votes, whether Matty Butler, after his 20-goal effort against Natty Muck, gets the 3 votes, Flowman. So I'll be looking to that game as a bit of interest, but it should be a great count. But my tip would be Michael Close from the Harrow team.
What about Rupp? They've had an incredible season and they've had Musgrove kicking goals. Do you get it like one league in South Australia where the full forward actually has won the medal there in the K&T? It would have been Narracourt's Roy Taggart over there. But is it possible that you get a Musgrove win the medal?
Well, he's obviously had a huge influence on so many games, and being a coach, he's well known by the umpires too, and he's had a great impact, Flowman. And I think as we go into the grand final, another talking point of that match is I think at the moment he's on about 94 or 5 goals. So wouldn't it be a great thing for the coach of the Rapaniup team to kick 4 or 5 in the grand final and kick 100 and have a win for his team? So he'll be definitely one to watch out for over the next couple of weeks. And I can't see why he shouldn't poll quite well on Monday night.
Oh, good stuff. All right, Weir, looking forward to the occasion of the next big results from the weekend. Unfortunately, the 3 sides, the young girls from the netball too, were eliminated out, and our thoughts as everyone starts to think about the summer seasons and then getting prepared for next year from the Jeparit Rainbow Storm. Looking forward to the big count on Saturday the 10th during the results of that. Weary, looking forward to hearing some more of your exploits too next week when we wrap up another week of the Horsham District Football and Netball.
No worries, Wayne. Have a good weekend.